America's trade war with China was supposed to fix the imbalance, reduce the deficit, bring jobs back home. But instead, the trade deficit is getting worse. Despite billions in tariffs, despite tough rhetoric, despite promises, the numbers don't lie. In 2024 alone, the U.S. trade deficit with China ballooned past $350 billion. That's larger than the entire economy of some countries. And it's not shrinking, it's growing. So what went wrong? Why is America losing this fight? And can Washington do anything to reverse the tide? The answer? It's more complicated than politicians want you to believe. This is the reality of America's trade war, and it's time to face the truth. First, let's break it down. What is the trade deficit? It's simple. America buys more from China than China buys from America. And right now, the gap is massive. Last year, the U.S. imported over $500 billion worth of goods from China, everything from electronics to machinery to everyday household items. Meanwhile, China bought only about $150 billion from the U.S., mostly raw materials, agricultural goods, and high-tech components. That's a massive imbalance. And tariffs, they were meant to fix this, raise prices on Chinese goods, make American products more competitive, force China to play fair. But that's not what happened. Instead, the deficit has continued to grow because tariffs don't address the core issue, America's reliance on cheap foreign goods. When the U.S. imposed tariffs, China didn't just sit back, it fought back. How? By devaluing its currency, by subsidizing its industries, by finding new markets. And American companies? They didn't stop buying from China, they simply passed the costs on to you, the consumer. Take electronics. Before tariffs, a smartphone from China cost $800. After tariffs, that same phone, $900. Automobiles, machinery, clothing, prices shot up. And who paid? The American public. And here's the kicker. American businesses couldn't just pull out of China overnight. Supply chains are deeply embedded. Manufacturing is optimized for efficiency. It's not as easy as just bringing jobs back. So instead, companies adapted. They took the hit. Or worse, they found workarounds. Vietnam, Mexico, Malaysia. American companies started shifting production, not to the U.S., but to other low-cost countries. The result? The trade deficit barely budged. And while China's direct exports to the U.S. dipped slightly, its exports to countries like Vietnam and Mexico surged because those countries became middlemen, shipping Chinese-made goods to America under different labels. The tariff strategy didn't just fail, it backfired. The harsh reality? America's losing this fight because the system itself is flawed. First, manufacturing. China is the world's factory for a reason. It has the labor force, the infrastructure, the efficiency. Meanwhile, the U.S. factories have closed. Labor costs are high, regulations are strict, and even if companies wanted to move production back home, the cost of doing so is astronomical. Second, corporate interests. American companies aren't patriotic entities. They follow profit, not politics. If producing in China is cheaper, they'll do it. If tariffs hurt profits, they'll find another way. And third, China's long game. Beijing isn't playing by the same rules. It's investing billions in its industries. It's securing supply chains. It's dominating rare earth minerals. It's ensuring that the world depends on China, not the other way around. China has also been aggressively expanding its Belt and Road Initiative, strengthening economic ties with Asia, Africa, and even parts of Europe. While the U.S. focuses on trade wars, China is building long-term economic influence. Meanwhile, U.S. policymakers remain reactive, responding to China's moves rather than setting their own proactive strategy. So what happens next? If America wants to win this fight, tariffs alone won't cut it. The U.S. needs a complete economic shift, investing in domestic manufacturing, securing supply chains, creating real incentives for companies to stay in America, not just penalties for leaving. It's possible, but it won't happen overnight. Because the reality is this: the U.S. isn't losing to China because of bad policy. It's losing because the system itself favors China. Until that changes, the deficit will continue to grow, and America will keep fighting a war that it's already losing. The question is, will Washington finally change course before it's too late? What do you think? Can the U.S. turn the tide? Or is America's dominance in global trade fading? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on the latest in economics and geopolitics, subscribe to Econ Atlas. Because understanding the world isn't just important, it's essential.